there, welcome back to week 2 of our May blog class where we're making a surprise party pack for 6. Jesse's back with us again this week.
Hello.
And we're excited to have him. He's all ready to go. This week we are going to learn how to make the hat and then our cute little goodie bag. And there's a couple of fun techniques that I've learned from Robbie, because as I said last week, Robbie Herring is the one that designed this party pack. And there's a couple of fun things that she did that just were new little techniques to me that I thought were kind of fun. Jesse, anything else you want to tell our friends?
No, I think you covered it all.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Remember, he's engaged. He's going to get married. His girlfriend's name is?
Mercedes Justine Schmidt.
We got the full name. Mercedes is not a pretty name. Love it.
Mercedes.
What?
Mercedes.
Like that, but I can't say it like that. Anything else? Did you think of anything else you wanted to tell him about yourself?
No.
No? I'll tell you something. You know what he had for lunch today? Carrots. That's it.
That's all I had.
Carrots. Kind of.
It's nutritious at least.
It's true. It's true. It's nutritious. Anyway, so we'll get started on making the hat and the bag, and I think you guys are going to love it. Alright, I kind of lied to you last time, and I told you that I would give you this so that you would know which flags we put on which card. So I will make sure that I put this on today's video. Okay, to get started, hopefully you bought your little white gift bags. You can buy those at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, that kind of store. So these are really easy. You're going to love this. Okay, to get your straight fold, this is just an easy thing to do, and I've already done it, but I'm just going to show you. So I lined it up here, and I just scored it at 3/4 of an inch, and then you get a nice even fold on your bags, and they all look the same. So if you're the kind of person that likes continuity or consistency in your project, use the scorer. If you're not, you could just fold it over and press it down. So to get started, we're making scallop borders with, we're using the Fiskars small scallop border, but truly you could use any border that you have on hand. Don't feel like you have to go out and buy this exact punch. So we're punching along there.
Okay.
Jesse's going to punch that for us. And then my bag is 3 1/4. I think the bag that I put on the instruction sheet was 3 1/2, but mine just happened to be a tiny bit smaller, but it still works out perfectly. Okay, so he's got that punched. Now just put a strip of that along here, and you can either measure it out and put it on, or what I like to do is just actually adhere it and then trim it. So we'll have Jesse do that. He's getting his.
All right.
So yeah, just put that along the bottom. And to get enough scalloped border for all 6 of them, you'll need to do 2 strips. And I did them 1 inch by 12 before I started punching the border. So 2 strips of the stripe that was a little tongue twister right there. 2 strips of the stripe paper, 1 by 12. And next week on our blog, we've done a product swap with Xyron. So today the adhesives that we're using are this photo mount tape from Xyron and their cool glue stick that has a pointed corner on it so you can get down into the corner. So throughout this project we're going to be using these. Just for a little shout out for Xyron. Okay, you've got your...
Okay, got that.
Got it? Okay, now we're going to put a little piece of rickrack across. And here again, you're just going to alternate using the orange, green, blue, red, yellow, your different rickracks and your different ribbons. Okay, and then we're going to use buttons, and I've done 3 buttons here. And this is, it's funny because Robbie Herring made this, and she sent me a note and said that she can't stand to see naked buttons, and I have the same pet peeve. I just don't like to use a button that doesn't have string in it. So we put string in our buttons, and we're going to put those up like the buttons of the clown shirt. And I left these long to give you a little tip. And yeah, you can rip those off and put them on while I tell them this little tip. So I left them long, and I just took the glue stick and I just laid my string on there with my finger and pulled it across and then let it dry. And that way, when I snip these shorter, my thread doesn't fray. So, and hopefully you all have your different colors of your floss. But if you just use that glue stick on them, then they don't fray. So we'll have Jesse put his buttons on there and then trim them so that the ends aren't so long. And then you just need to tie your bows for the top. And we're going to match our rickrack to our bow. So we're going to do an orange bow at the top of our gift bag.
Okay.
Alright, so then trim your little tails.
We've already done the glue to this.
Yep. Yeah, I did it because you have to let it dry to harden. You could also use, there's a fabric stiffener that you could use. Just kind of paint that onto your strings too. Or if you're the type of person that doesn't mind your string fraying, that's okay too. It really just depends on how picky you are. It's funny because I'm picky about some things and then there's other things I could care less about. So really it's just personal preference.
I kind of like the frayed look on this one.
Yeah?
Might just be because it's my favorite color.
Yeah? That's true. Okay, just trim off your little bit of extra that's hanging over right there. I got you better scissors this week. How is that?
I know. They are so much nicer.
And then just a bow on top. And then that's ready for a goodie bag, and you could fill that up with, I suggest filling it up with something big like marshmallows or saltwater taffy, something that you don't have to put a ton of. If you filled that with Skittles, that would be a large bag of Skittles. So maybe a little toy and
Okay.
ta-da! How cute is that? Those are fun.
Lovely.
It's lovely. Ours is just a little bit smaller, but that's okay. Alright, another thing is I actually just took the buttons when I made my first set, and I used my paper piercer, and I just pierced through all of the holes in all of the buttons, and actually I just threaded them all on here at once, so that then I just did a pick and choose as I went through my bags. So that's one way to save a little time, is to just make sure that you poke a hole first, because it's on this piece of film, and you'll want to be able to peel it out. I also, if I do them off of it, I like to try and keep the adhesive on the film so that my button's actually not sticky, and then thread it, and then I use my own adhesive. So just, again, it's personal preference how you do that. That's just another little tip. Okay, let's start with our hat. First thing we're going to need is, hopefully you have your poster board. And the first thing we need is a 2 by 22 inch piece of poster board. That's what we're going to start with. And then you're going to want to cut out 30 pieces, how do I say that? 30 pieces of pattern paper that are 2 by 5. And on our hats that we have, on all of them we have the 2 happy birthday pieces here that are like our noisemakers, and then 2 matching colors and then a different color in the center. And so there again, our hats are consistent, but they're different. So some could have red and a blue, some could have yellow and a green and a blue. So they're all consistent in one way or another, but they're all different. So you need 30 pieces of pattern paper that are 2 by 5. Then you also want 30 pieces of just your white cardstock that are 2 by 5. And because you'll never cut the same twice in a row, we've got a pattern for you. And what I want you to do is to take one pattern and one white, and then use your pattern and cut those, but then keep those 2 together.
Okay.
Because when we put them front and back on here, we want them to match exact.
Right.
So that'll be your first
Okay.
deal. And then, so you want to put a white one and a printed one together. Okay, so now we took our piles that we matched up. So these 2 were together. So we've got them in order there, and we just adhered these onto the front. So there's our colored pieces, adhered centered on our piece of poster board. And now, oh, watch this, this is going to be tricky. But we're going to turn it over, but now we have to remember they're going to go in this order.
Right.
Okay, so this is so fun. This is one of the techniques that I learned from Robbie that I didn't know before. So on this part, she used a glue stick. And after we glue these two pieces together, as they dry, we're going to rub and make them curly. And when the glue stick dries, it hardens. You can't feel it through the camera, but feel that. Just see how it's hardened?
Yeah, you can.
Isn't that pretty cool? And then she does it on this scallop piece down here too. So you use the glue stick, and then your project, it hardens into this shape where we've got them kind of pointing forward. However, there's other parts, like where we glue this onto this, that we don't want to use the glue stick because we need it to bend and be able to go around the child's head. So this part is one part that we're going to use a glue stick, and then there's one other part that we'll use a glue stick. So
Okay.
I just think it's so fun. I never knew. So now let's check out this glue stick by Xyron. It's so much fun. There's the cap, and to get your glue to come out, you put this on the bottom, and that's how the glue comes out. That's pretty
neat.
Pretty neat, huh? And then it has this point, so we can actually get right up to the point of the peak of our, what are these called? Crown pieces?
Mm-hmm.
So like that, I'll let you adhere that baby on. But I just think that's kind of fun, so you can get to the edge of your photo, right into the corner of your photo, right into the corner of whatever you need. That just, I don't know. I was just kind of excited about that little tip. I hadn't learned it before.
So earlier you had said that you had to remember about like which one went with each one.
Uh-huh.
Wouldn't it not make a difference since they're all the same?
Well, see, as we cut them, we did them together because on the front, you'll probably never cut two identical.
Right.
So that's why, as you glue, start with the point and then go down, and then we should match up every time.
Is that what have the glue?
Oh, I think so. Let me put some more. I think I did it, but who knows?
I thought you only did these two.
Probably. Oh yeah, now let me show you. I think, see that? So if you start, usually if it's right in the beginning, we can get it off. So if you start by matching up the point, you should.
Oh, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, get it right on. So that's why we did it, just because where we hand cut them out, no two are alike. If you had some kind of die cutting machine where they were identical, it probably wouldn't matter. Okay, so after we get that on, then you're going to turn that over and start curling your points forward. Just kind of, yeah, so just kind of with your hand, yeah, there you go, perfect. Let's just, we want them to just kind of point forward. It just adds so much character to the cute little hat. And, you know, when Jessie was trying to put the hat on, and we just did it with, I was going to say masking tape, but this is not masking, it's Scotch tape. So you could fit it onto each child's head, or you could staple it onto each child's head, or if you wanted to have them prepared before the party, you could go to a party store and buy that elastic string. And just make them all really small, and then just poke holes and put some elastic, and then they could just put it on and put that string under their chin. So that's another way that you could have the hats if you wanted to have that all done and not have to worry about fitting them to the child. Okay, next. Next we have, you'll want to cut a 12-inch scallop, and we started at 1.5 inches wide by 12. And I actually used the scallop border from the Silhouette to make this one. Off the top of my head, I can't remember which one we put on the supply list. But it was another punch that was a scallop. So whatever you have, whether it's a Cricut, a Silhouette, a Sizzix, you should have some kind of scallop border in your stash of stuff. But you want to make a plain white one and then a printed one. And we're going to glue those together with our glue stick. And then between each of these scallops, you're going to cut a little slit. And while your glue stick is still wet, you want to pull these forward so that they poke forward a little bit as well. Okay, so then we'll just attach that onto there. Just see, and that has adhesive on it. That's the Xyron photo tape. Say that 3 times fast. While he's doing that, Robbie also showed us this fun technique, how to make a zigzag border. And I'm just trying to find a hat to show you one. Okay, so do you see on this hat that her, rather than scallop, this one's zigzag?
Yeah.
Okay, this is fun. You're going to be so amazed. So you're going to start with a piece of paper that is 2.5 inches by 12. And we have the Martha Stewart heart punch. And I found that any heart punch works as long as the point of your heart is pointing away from the handle. So I have a couple punches that, you know, my point is coming towards the handle. They didn't work so well. So this is the Martha Stewart punch. And this is how we're going to make this cute pointed border right there. So we want to make sure that our paper is all the way down in the punch at all times. Then we're going to go right till we can just see the edge and punch. And then go to the next one. Just barely overlapping. And I'm making sure that it's pushed all the way to the bottom. And I want to do this, I want to do one out of white and then one out of my printed paper. And a suggestion is to start with your white one because it's cheaper than your patterned paper. And if you mess up, just while you're getting the hang of it, I suggest using your white paper first. And you may have to vary the size of your paper. Like this one's 2.5 and that works perfect for the Martha punch. If you have a different punch, you may want to test that out a little bit and figure out exactly how wide you need your paper. Okay, so now we have that zigzag border. So now you just do another one out of your stripe paper and glue that to the top, and then same thing. You want to trim in between each one and curl those forward. And that's, so there you got either your scallop border or your zigzag border. And you have lots of little heart confetti that you could throw around at the party. Okay, after that, then we want to put a ribbon across the whole thing. We're going to use green, our double dot ribbon, and it's going to go across the entire bottom. This you do not want to use your glue stick. So when we attach this to here, we did not want to use it, and when we attach the ribbon, we do not want to use it.
The entirety of it?
Yep, all along the whole bottom. Nice. Ooh, it's so cute already.
All right.
Okay, now we're just going to put a bow, and I like to do it off center. I don't want my bow right in center because we're going to put a trinket in the center. So kind of, I think the more you squamp things and put them in weird places, the more natural it looks. If you try to make everything straight and you're off just a little bit, it's visible. Okay, now we're going to use a trinket. One of my favorite Bo Bunny products is our trinkets. Alright, so we're going to put foam squares on the back. Show them the back.
Okay.
Because we want that to pop off of our hat a little bit. So just, we're going to put that in the center. And then, for some reason, I just love this part. Jesse, I'm going to trust you with the glue again.
Okay.
Just put a tiny little bit right on each point, and we're going to put these little pom-poms on there.
Alright, let's see if I can get a tiny bit on
Oh, look, it's already coming out for you, huh?
Okay, I'm gonna...
Here, let me clear that off.
Oh, it's like...
Okay, now you can.
Okay.
It might just keep on flowing. And this is that Fabri-Tac, and it glues super quick. So after he gets onto the third one, I'm actually going to go behind him and glue these on. because it dries super fast. Now, at the store, and I went to several craft stores, and you can buy these pom-poms. You can buy a big combo pack, but you have to buy a couple of them to get enough to do all of them if you want to do the red, green, yellow, and orange, and blue. But I just bought, because it was $1, I just bought a package of each, because I figure I'm going to use these again on something. So we use them on here, and then we'll use them on our banner next week. So don't be afraid to have a little few extra pom-poms on hand. Nice.
There we go.
All right, do the honors. Get up and curl it around, and let's see how it... Oh, except for they can't see you. He just
Right.
was putting it on. Maybe just put it right here and curl it around and show them that we're turning it into a hat. So you just kind of have to work it with your hand a little and get it to the size you want and just work it a little bit, and pretty soon they'll just be staying like that. So that was pretty easy, right?
That was really easy.
We made our sack, our little gift bag, and our party hats in no time at all. Plus we learned some fun techniques about a glue stick, and what was the other one? We did glue stick to make it not fray.
And your Martha Stewart.
Oh yes, to make our zigzag. I think that is fun. I think you could use that on many things. You could use that on a layout, mini albums. That's just a fun way to make a zigzag. Alright, so that was easy. We're on week 2. Next week we're going to make the cute banner that's behind us, and then you'll have your party pack for 6 ready to go. But before we go, I just wanted to tell you something interesting about Jesse that I learned. And he's so quiet and shy. When he's out in the warehouse, he's not so quiet and shy. We can hear him all the way upstairs laughing and having a good time. But put a camera in front of him, and he clams up. Although, that's not true, because this is what I want to tell you. Jesse lived in California, and so he has been an extra in a lot of movies. Tell our friends some of the movies you've been an extra in.
Okay, so I've been in Gangster Squad. I've been in a couple of small independent movies. I can't remember all the names of them. But as far as TV shows, I've done NCIS, Good Luck Charlie, CSI, in the Community, In the Middle, Switched at Birth. I don't know, you name it, I've most likely been in it.
Is that so cool? So, all of us here are like, what episode? And we're all gung-ho to go home and find all his episodes. So, I heard Carly downstairs that was with us last month. She found Community, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she found him on Community and Good Luck Charlie.
Yes.
Yeah, so fun. So it's like, where's Waldo? Where's Jesse? We're all going to find him. But anyway, we'll have you back again next week, and hopefully you have something else fun to tell us.
I sure will.
Okay, awesome. And we will make our banner. So talk to you guys next week.